Welcome again. Thank you for spending time with us on our channel, Vedic Solutions, based on the teachings of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and I am your host, Harinama Chintamani. We have had some questions. We so welcome the fact that you are writing in, and we are happy to make some of your questions and the answers for those questions as part of a video that would just be a Q&A. So please feel free to write us with any questions that you have, anything that you would like explained further, and we will be happy to make that part of another video. So we're going to continue with the theme of why the Hare Krishna movement was infiltrated. The importance of this is to really impress upon your hearts and minds how important this Hare Krishna movement is for the saving of this planet at this critical time. Not what the organization has turned into, but the pure teachings of what Srila Prabhupada came to give, based on the ancient Vedic literatures. And as we mentioned in some of our other videos, people all over the world are asking themselves, how are we going to go forward? How are we going to create the foundation for a sustainable society where everyone is taken care of and where leaders have the qualities of character for leadership? Because character is intrinsic for leadership, whether the father and mother of a family, a community, a school, a nation. Character is intrinsic. When Srila Prabhupada was here, he started the Gurukula system. Now, in ancient India, they had a system of education where a young man would go to the place of a spiritual teacher. Because the caste system degraded in the beginning of this Kali Yuga, which was 5,000 years ago, there is no real understanding of the social and spiritual orders that the Lord Himself gave. If you would like to take advantage of reading more about that, please go to our website, purelyprabhupada.com, and you can see these books. And this, especially Bhagavad Gita, will be of interest to you. So, in the establishing of these social orders, it gave everyone the opportunity to be the very best that they could at what they were good at. That makes sense, doesn't it? So, there was no set fee, and everyone was trained how to control the senses. Because when the senses are controlled, the mind can be peaceful. What do we have now? It's insane. We have so-called leaders encouraging us to the depths of degradation, and it's visible everywhere, and you see it everywhere. But we're not becoming happier because we're indulging our senses. This is literally animal life. Srila Prabhupada never came to compliment us and flatter us and try to get money. That was one of the ways that he distinguished himself from all the others who were teaching at that time that Srila Prabhupada was here. He never flattered us. He told us the truth. And then he inspired us to come to a higher platform. He wanted to create a society of first-class men and women, of character, who could take responsibility, who had a mood of service, who were compassionate, tolerant, patient, equipoised. That begins with the control of the senses. And so he started this system, this Gurukula system, where young boys and girls could come and have an opportunity from the very beginning of their life to take advantage in that young age when the mind is so open of what it's like to control the senses. And it was meant to be loving. It was meant to be filled with patience and goodness. But what happened? It was such an important aspect of the Hare Krishna movement that Srila Prabhupada established. It was infiltrated very early on. Now think about this. The time of the 60s, where there was drugs and free sex, this was a socially engineered time to degrade the society, to create schisms between the establishment, the young people, the morality that had come down, where there would be a father, a mother, a family. How to break that? You break that structure, you break the society. That's what we're seeing now, right? So sad. So a family needs a mother and a father. How can a man be a man without the ability to control the senses? Srila Prabhupada wanted to give us that opportunity. And we personally experienced this. When we came and lived in an ashram where there was no meat eating, intoxication, gambling, illicit sex, we woke up early. We took advantage of the hour and a half before the sun rises, which is the best time for spiritual practices. We saw the transformation it made in our own lives. We wanted that for our children. Tragically, the whole system was taken over. And that first generation of the parents who joined the Hare Krishna movement when Srila Prabhupada was still here, those children, such beautiful children, very intelligent, beautiful in bodily features. Now they're in their 40s and 50s. Some of them remember what happened to them. The majority of them do not remember everything that happened, because what happened was demonic, and they were brutalized. And yes, I do get teary-eyed when I think of it. I do, because it was tragic. As it is tragic all over the world now, what is happening to our children. And it has to stop. It has to stop. So all of you who are parents, be wise. These schools are places of indoctrination. They're not places of education. Our children need us. They need love. They need morality. They need spiritual principles. And that's what Srila Prabhupada came to give, and it was dangerous to the demoniac agenda. The Vedas speak about this war between the demons and the devas, the theists and the atheists. It has been here from the beginning of time. This is not something new. But what is new is that in this Kali Yuga, this iron age that we're living in now, this age of violence, hypocrisy, and quarrel, which started 5,000 years ago, we are on the precipice of the beginning of a 10,000-year golden age that happens very rarely. All of this is in the Vedic literatures that Srila Prabhupada came to give. We are a part of that, and we are experiencing the taking down of the demoniac structure that has been there for thousands of years. All of this is in Srila Prabhupada's books. So I encourage you to please take advantage of these teachings. Go to our website, purelyprabhupada.com, and begin to look at what is available there and to listen to the lectures that Srila Prabhupada gave. They are as relevant now as they were in 1966, because he could see through everything that was going on, and he was giving us the absolute truth, which is what our society needs to be based upon: truth, not speculation, not lies, and not demoniac ideas that we should simply let our senses run wild and free like the animals. Srila Prabhupada said, this civilization is nothing more than polished animal life. But you beautiful young boys and girls, you do good to your people to the people of your country. You take up this process of Krishna consciousness, Christ consciousness, self-realization. You do good for others. You become examples. You become spiritual leaders. A spiritual leader means somebody who is humble in heart. If one recognizes the authority of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that person must be humble in their heart, because they're not advertising that they are God or that you can become God, as so many popular so-called teachers would tell people. How can we become God? We're tiny. When we get a toothache, we have to go to the dentist. Would God have to go to the dentist? No. So education is absolutely vital. And this is something that those who are in positions of power on this planet, who are demoniac, yes, there are demoniac races from the lower planetary systems, from inside the earth. This is in the Vedic literatures. They have practically taken over this planet. They are not going to be allowed to finish their plan, although they are working very hard right now on all levels to succeed at all costs. But there are 5 factors of action according to Bhagavad Gita: time, place, the doer, the activity, and above all, the sanction of the Supreme Lord. And he is not going to sanction the takeover, the complete demoniac takeover of this planet. It is not going to happen. We are in for a rough ride. Yes, we are. And we are here to support you with spiritual practices to uplift and to strengthen and encourage your heart and mind. So thank you so much for taking your time once again to be with us, to listen. We so appreciate the emails that we're getting. And please continue to send them with any questions that you may have. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.